back to Attingham Park, and we are back in the beastly Volvo L180H. One of the jobs I want to do today is to mow this bit of grass that the cows have decided they aren't going to eat. So we need to move the pile of manure that I randomly dumped here, I think when I was sorting out the silo, and it taking in manure. There is way more than I thought, but you know, we've got a 10,000 litre bucket and a beastly front loader, so I think I was going to try and do this with the telehandler at first, and then I remembered I had this parked up, so yeah, this is a much better option, obviously. I think, you know, we're probably going to use, I'm torn. I want to get the BGAs going, but obviously, well, maybe not obviously, the pumps and hoses BGA needs silage to work before we can put manure through it. Now, we have a lot of maize silage, and in July we'll be able to forage the this year's crop. So maybe we load a bunch of that maize silage up and put it through the pumps and hoses BGA. I'm still not sure if you can hear the builders next door again, and I'm also not sure if that will be enough to use all the manure that we have, because we have quite a lot. We also have a lot of slurry. So the other option is we put some of the manure through the modular BGA. Now, we don't really need the cash. Obviously, this series is not particularly about cash. So yeah, I'm not sure. Curious if people want me to fire up the pumps and hoses BGA. Because we only have the one clamp on the farm, we probably do need to empty that one out unless we bale all the maize silage, and we could do that. But yeah, I'm not sure. Yes, this thing is huge in the farmyard. It's I'm sure it's not designed to be used on a farm. I suspect it's designed to be used in much more industrial situations, but hey, it's pretty good. I'm really curious as to whether I can get it to compact silage or not, because I think it's pretty freaking heavy as well. So that would be kind of cool if we could use it for the compaction. And as I said, got quite a lot of slurry, so we don't need to pump any yet. We've got no reason to put it on any of the ground, so I'm just transferring it from this slurry pit to the slurry tank next to it. Then I'm moving most of it into that, and then we're going to do a quick test with the digestate store that's over at the BGA. Early on with pumps and hoses, if you put slurry into a tank with digestate, you've got a lot more. So I want to see if that's still a thing with the update. I've not really played with pumps and hoses much since they updated it. I need to go back and look at the BGAs and see if they've been sorted and whether the finances have been sorted. Where if you put down two of the income generators, so the things that turned methane into sellable electricity, you would get double the money. So yeah, need to check to see if that's been sorted, I guess. Yeah, so for now we're just going to empty out all of the slurry. Obviously want to keep the slurry down in this pit so that the cows keep producing milk. I have updated maizePlus on here, so we're using less food now, which is cool because we're going to increase the size of the herd today. So you will have seen in the thumbnail I had an animal trailer, so yeah, I'm going to be doing that. But first thing we're going to do is this quick test with the digestate store. So we still have a fair bit of digestate over here from the playing around I did before. So if I jump out, we've got 181,000 litres of digestate in the pit, silo, tank. I mean, you can see it's going up fairly quickly, and clearly more has gone in because we only had, I think, I'm not actually sure. We certainly didn't have more than about 20,000 litres, and about 60,000 litres has gone in. So yeah, you can still turn your slurry into lots of digestate. as I said, we're going to have a look at getting some more animals. The first thing I want to do, though, is we've had some Holstein calves. And as I do on pretty much every save where I have cows, though the calves are going out in the field. Yep, I am cruel and heartless, and I want to save money on my food bill. So what I'm going to do is use the least legal trailer to move the calves out of this enclosure into the big field, and then I'm going to buy 15 more of the mature Holsteins. Obviously we're going to have to wait a bit of time for them to start producing milk and calves, but it'll be quicker than waiting for the calves to do it. So yeah, that's the plan. Can just about maneuver this around with the Volvo in the way. Yeah, I think that's the only thing I've used from the Platinum DLC so far. I was half tempted at one point to throw my morals out of the window and go, welcome to Silver Run Forest, because everyone's making those videos and they seem to be doing really well. But I think that's just the hype of the DLC, and it will drop away. And I'd rather keep playing the stuff that I enjoy. And, you know, at some point I'm going to have a look at, you know, the yarders and the log winches and stuff, because some of that looks like fun to use. But I think I'm just going to do it as it occurs naturally on the Let's Plays. So as when Maypole hits the winter, I had planned to do logging anyway. So I'll probably do some logging, and we'll probably make use of some of the kit that's in the DLC then. Already plan on there to get the old Volvo wheel loader, so yeah, that should be fun. I don't think there are really any trees around our farm on here that would be good to get into logging on, so let's get these unloaded. I'll get the rest of them moved off camera because it's going to be a repeat of the same thing another 2 more times. But that just doesn't really free up. I don't think we're short of space in the main enclosure, but I just don't want to be feeding those little cows. Not that they will eat much now, or as much. So yeah, we're going to get the 18-month-old ones. So 25,000 basically to have them delivered. We're going to have to wait a while for them to be productive, but yeah, I think that will be a good way of speeding things up. Just need to move some of the wool over at the sheep pen. And we've not really shown much of working with the sheep, but we have a silly amount of wool stored up. At some point I should do something with it. I guess take it to a sell point is probably a good idea, but yeah, I've just been collecting it for some reason. I guess because I'm not worried about the money. Maybe we could stick it through a production. I don't know. So we do have the sugar mill with byproduct running still up at the up where the old BGA was. I need to keep an eye on that, make sure that it's still running, and at some point go and pick up whatever we've produced, because we have the GT version, so I think it runs quite quickly. I pretty much forgot about it as I got into messing around on here. So mostly we are going to be doing, you know, animal care and yard work, a bit of mowing and baling to do as well. Pretty much waiting for our crops to be ready to do things with. Our main grass fields are not mowable yet. I think as soon as we hit July, we are going to have a load of mowing to do. We are going to have the wheat and the barley to harvest, and I think the corn is going to be forageable. So July is going to be a pretty hectic month, and then things are going to go quiet again. I guess we'll have all the replanting and stuff to do. Curious if people want to see this series continue. It seems to be quite popular, so if you do, then drop me a comment below. While you're doing that, click the like button as well, and if you're not, and about half of you aren't, click subscribe as well and turn on notifications, because then you'll find out when I post more of these videos, and you'll make me happier. So yeah, do that now while I'm just moving this last pallet forward. So yeah, if we're going to keep this series going, then we'll be looking at what to replant. I'm not sure. I'm half tempted to plant some of them with grass at this point. Anything that's going to go to corn, we'll get a winter crop in, I think, first of something, because it would be silly not to. I wonder if we could plant something like oats and get a whole crop off them and then still be able to plant the corn. That's an interesting one. I have to have a look at that. That might be an interesting one, experiment to run. So yeah, this bit of grass that the cows aren't eating, I'm going to mow and bale. So we'll mow it with the conditioner on. I'm not going to bother tedding it. I'm just going to run the front mower and the baler on the back. Just so that I can do it as a single pass. I'm not going to get many bales off of here, but it will all help provide food. So I think all of the grass silage bales that we've got are now fermented, which is cool. So we're in a good position for that again. And we might have a bit of a dip where we don't really have very much maize silage if we're going to have to empty the bunker and refill it with fresh. So we might have to switch over what we're feeding again to wait until the bunker's fermented. Yeah, it just felt like a bit of a waste. I could extend the grazing area even more, but I decided not to. I don't know why, but I could have. I may end up going in and doing that anyway. And yeah, so grazing's going to kick in again as well next month, so that'll help with some of the feeding. It probably won't do all of the feeding for these cows, so we'll still be supplementing their feed with TMR. And we are going to need to mix a bunch of TMR up for them today, so yeah. But yeah, definitely curious as to whether you guys want to see this series continue. The intent was obviously that it would focus on things to do with maizePlus. And I only really planned to run it for a game year, just to see whether the scale of farm that we had was suitable. Clearly we've got, we're pretty well off of feed. We're up to, at the moment, 45 mature Holsteins. So yeah, I think we could easily support more, which is why I brought more. So we're up to 60 now, but the last 15 we've brought aren't really going to be productive at the moment. So yeah, maybe we do another year and see how things go. See if we're keeping up with it. Maybe I should buy for more. Maybe I should get another 15. So we're up to 75 cows and see how that goes. I mean, I'm doing 160 on Greenlands, but that's with the brown Swiss. Actually, the difference now is quite small. They eat a little bit less, but yeah, I'm curious as to what people think. Are you interested in seeing this going a bit longer? I think if it does, I might knock out a big chunk of the cash just to make it interesting. And yeah, just want to see your views. I'm also going to be trying to keep the videos to between 25 and 30 minutes. I know some of you love the marathon, 45-minute videos, but they're quite time consuming to make and edit and upload. And I guess, like a lot of YouTubers, maybe not, but a couple of us have been watching a lot of videos about how to do YouTube well. And if I'm making two 25 to 30 minute videos is probably better for the channel than making one 45-minute video. So the video that's coming out today for me, because I'm recording this commentary on Friday, is a 45-minute Greenlands video, and I guess that most people will watch on average about 10 minutes of it, which means A, people are missing a lot, and B, there's a lot of wasted content in there. I know I'm the kind of person that does it. Some of you will watch the whole thing. You'll watch the whole 45 minutes, and that's awesome. It's what I do, because I like to see the whole story. It's I don't role play, but I like the story of a progression of a farm and that kind of thing. So yeah, I like to see everything that happens in a video. But a lot of people only watch 10 minutes or so. I know some big creators only make 10-minute videos because a lot of people will only watch about 10 minutes of a video. I'm not going to go that route. 10 minutes is not long enough for me to waffle away and produce a useful video, particularly now I don't time lapse. So yeah, I'm thinking of trying to keep them slightly shorter, half-hour max basically, which a lot of them have been lately. But yeah, occasionally I do stray, and I'm trying to stop getting into that. This video would have been a classic example of that. So I said a load of the crops are ready to harvest next game day. I know that because I've progressed the save as I was playing. I progressed into July and went, oh, I can do all the harvesting now. And then I thought, actually, I've got quite a lot recorded already. I should probably stop at this point and make that the next video, or the next few videos. So yeah, something that I'll be trying to do. What else do we want to talk about? We should say thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. I'm going to try doing this differently if I remember in the edit. And rather than the big scrolly thing, I'm going to do something that I've seen some other YouTubers, or a version of what I've seen another YouTuber do. So you should all be seeing your names on the screen sometime around now. Yeah, do appreciate you guys supporting the channel. It's really cool. I spoke about it in the last few videos. I still find it kind of crazy that I have a YouTube channel that has 3,500 subscribers nearly. So my next goal for this channel, and it's quite a way off, I want to hit 5,000 subscribers. So if you're one of the people that's not subscribed, click subscribe. And one of the things that I'm thinking of doing when I hit 5,000 subscribers is some sort of giveaway. To give back to the subscribers and the channel, you know. I have no idea how I'm going to do it yet. I have no idea what the prize will be, but I think when I hit 5,000 subscribers, I do want to do some sort of giveaway, because that's a massive milestone, I think. You know, it could take months. It could take months. But when we get there, that's what I want to do. So I've updated maizePlus, so we can now put whole sugar beet and potatoes and carrots in the TMR, which means we don't need to use the cutter anymore. It means we can get rid of it, and in theory we can then just use a bigger bucket to mix the TMR, which is kind of cool, because on every single save I've had to have that bucket. 4D Modding does have a new one coming out from the brand that he did the beet cleaner of. I think it's Armour Salmon, something like that. So we might bring it back, but for now I'm going to enjoy not having to use the bucket or the beet cutter, so we can in fact get rid of it, which I'll do. I think I end up doing that off camera. I'm thinking that I'm being. Now, I used the realistic mixture on here, in fact on most saves, and it's mainly because it's the easiest mixture. And so I'm wondering, and I know I've spoken about it a couple of times, but maizePlus is in a pretty stable. I seem to have stopped myself recording, which was a bit annoying. So my thought is now is a good time to customize the TMR recipe on here. There's obviously people like Tom Pemberton and Cow Farmer Dan that I could watch their videos and get how they make TMR. Joe Seal, he's I don't know if I've ever seen him go through his recipe, but I've got to admit I haven't watched him in the last month or so. I've been having a very random walk through YouTube, and then there's the stuff that Quacker gave me from the recipes that they use on the farm that he works on, so I have a lot of options. So you know, ideas below on what we should be doing for the TMR on here, so I'm not just making basically a really easy mix all the time. maizePlus is designed to be customizable. I should customize it, I think. Just getting a bucket full of beets. What I should really get now is a decent sized bucket to put on the JCB to make use of the speed. And I'm really thinking we should have planted a root crop. Maybe we might have to have a look around the map for a field with root crop in it. And also, I don't remember, I think my plan might have been to buy oats, because we've only got wheat and barley planted, so might have a look to see if there are any contracts or anything for oats. They probably need quite a lot. There may be a field we could buy with oats in. I think probably we need a couple more fields on here if we're going to keep playing this. So yeah, definitely, definitely things to look out for. So the TMR that I'm making on here now is going to be a bucket of beets, a bucket of grain mix, a bale or two of grass silage, and then the rest maize silage. Basically, partly because I'm trying to use up the maize silage. And we have the Volvo wheel loader to load the loose silage. So yeah. So I think I'm probably going to end up putting some of that through the one of the BGAs. I don't actually think I've activated the mini BGA on here since I built it. So yeah, it's a bit sad. But that gets us about, in fact, as close as I can tell, a third of a mixer within 200 litres of stuff. So the other 2/3, so just checking the grass silage bales are fermented, which is kind of cool. The other 2/3 is going to be maize silage, and yeah, I like this thing far too much. I don't think I'll use it much ever again, but for this it's kind of cool. Yeah, if you're doing a big BGA based series, then yeah, it's a really good addition. I think with that 10,000 litre bucket, it's pretty mental. I'm hoping that people will make some mod attachments for this. You know, can you imagine a big old silage fork on this thing? You could hold a lot of silage and do a lot of leveling. The other thing is, obviously, it would be really nice to be able to turn off the leveling feature in here so that it doesn't do that and drop silage as you come out of the bunker. But I can deal with it just because it's cool. So yeah, I think it's about 3 bucket loads of maize silage to fill it up, and then we'll get the cows fed. We're making a decent amount off of milk now as well. With so I'm still using Vertex. I'm sure it's Vertex Design. I'm not sure actually. I think it's Vertex Designs. Timed milk selling, so it sells the milk every morning at 6 AM. Obviously, if you watched the Greenlands video, which is out today or yesterday for you, you will get an idea of the kind of volume of milk that we can end up producing on here if we keep expanding. And yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. So yeah, we are going to have a lot of feed around the farm to keep up with feeding those animals as well. I do like that the bales are really well behaved, and we've got a lot of bales around this yard. So I was just looking, we've got basically 5% potato, 5% beets, 5% grain mix, 22% grass, and 66% maize silage. Yeah, I've got a lot of bales around here and not really being affected in FPS at all. And that's with turning up the resolution of the game and the resolution that I record at. So yeah, kind of pleased with that. Still got the flickery textures on the monster Axion. I kind of failed in fixing those. So the last job we're going to do on here is the whole crop, mini whole crop silage bales have fermented, and we do need to top the feed up for the sheep. So I'm going to get that done, and then, as I said, call it a day with this video. And next video we have lots of choices on harvesting. I'm going to ask the patrons which ones they want me to tackle first. So, because it makes no difference to me really. So I'm going to ask the patrons to decide which way we go on grass, maize, or grain. But yeah, first thing we're going to do the R key to unwrap the bales. It unwraps all of them, and then the R key again to cut open the pack, and then we can pick off individual bales of whole crop silage, which is really cool for feeding the sheep like this. And I'm just going to put a couple of these bales in, so I'm going to say thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time on Attingham Park for some harvesting of some sort. I say patrons will get to choose which one we do in the next video.